Good morning. Hello. I just want to make sure that my audio is working and I am visible properly. I have to make some changes again in OBS and I'm just going to test this. Bear with me. Good morning. Yes, I think it's fine. Just checking on my on another source. How's it going, London? How's it going? It was a crazy day yesterday. Uh, Trading wise, the AM session that was brutal. So I noticed when you have on the Forex Factory, we had it's just something that I really now take into account, especially when we have like a couple of news days coming in a row when they start on Wednesday. Like yesterday, it said it was PPI, right? And it was okay. Everybody, I know that I'm always like, oh, PPI, it's going to give us a good price action. But when I see the 10-year bond auction, it's a yellow folder at 101. I have learned my lesson, actually, just not to trade until the PM session. I didn't want it to come on, but obviously there was some horrible news at some point. I don't know if the news was on at that point. I believe, but I just had I don't know. I just felt really off that day yesterday, so I didn't come on. And I'm happy that I didn't because it would have been a very weird session because I would be very impacted. I still am, by the way, as we all should. But anyway, yeah, so 10-year bond auction, just mark that in just if you do your journaling and you look at the kind of news that you have, it's just something that keep it in mind. Just keep it in mind and look for yourself if you can see anything that impacts you, or you think like, okay, that's really a lot of activity on the. Oh, I've got to change this as well. Now, why is my screen? Got it. Why is my screen cut off? That's weird. Hold on, guys. I need to do this. So now it's off. Let me just fix this. Now, how can why is it okay? I'm going to do something so you won't see any screen for a while. You'll probably hear me, but I need to fix this. I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to start over because I need to fix this. Hold on. That's the only way I know I can do it properly. So I'm just going to remove this. So you won't have a screen right now. You can hear me, but that's hold on to do something. Let's see if this is not okay. For some reason, it didn't put on the proper. Put me back. I'm going to be back, and it should be okay. There we go. Now I think it should be the full screen. I guess so. Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's okay. There we go. Here we go. Now it's okay. Okay, I'm back on track. Sorry about that. Needed to do that. Now it should be all fine and dandy. all good. Okay. Still waking up from my coffee. Okay. I've got a new setup here. It's not ideal yet. I'm just trying to get it work properly and still have a good camera angle and stuff like that. But let's go. Here we go. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. So yesterday was quite interesting, right? So what I just mentioned was I have noticed that when you have PPI and you have got the 10-year bond option in the Forex Factory in the news, it is very bad price action in AM session. And again, it was pretty awful, right? It was very, it didn't get, there was more movement and it got pretty clear after 1 again. So what I've learned is that not to trade before 1 p.m. In days like this. So keep that in mind. Then also I want to go over the weekly profile. I always do that on Wednesday and Thursday, just to, you know, it might give me some indication of where we're heading and what might be the profile. Now, yesterday I had 2 profiles. I had this one, the Wednesday reversal, Wednesday high of week, and obviously we did have a high of week. We went lower, but does it look really bullish or bearish to you? It could, but on the other hand, we also could have this profile here. So we have a Wednesday high, we go a little bit lower today, for example, and then we have a Friday high. So we really have to wait, I think. But I think these are the only 2 profiles that really interest me. There are more, but I think these 2 are the most that I think that could be in play. We just need a little bit more information for really to see, are we really going to go down for the rest of the week? Which technically we did take out all the liquid, we took out, we went into this rejection block, but we already went over 50%. So because we've got 2 news days, are we going to use those 2 news days to go all the way down? It could be, but I'll be more inclined to think more in this line. Like, okay, we're the Wednesday, we go a little bit lower, and then either we go into motion already to the upside. Yeah, so we just have to wait what's going to bring today. Now this, we've been fooled quite a few times already, right? But that means we have to go down, and we didn't have a proper move down. Yes, it was a move down, but it was not like, when you would see a profile like this, it's most of the times not a slow grind down, and we had a slow grind down yesterday, which was sort of an indication that we're not bearish at all yet. It was just, in my opinion, but I could be wrong, just retracement, so to speak. And plus we're above 50% of this one. So are we going to all-time highs? Who knows? Or are we going to just consolidate? But we've got 2 news days, right? So it's going to be quite exciting. And I like these news days. They give a lot of opportunity, and it still doesn't look like we're done with this market maker buy model, right? It could be, but so yeah, that's why I always keep I look at these at Wednesday and Thursday, and I also start to look at TGIF data, because sometimes it goes into TGIF data on Thursday already, and then you know that it sort of like indicates what's going to happen on Friday as well. So yeah, let's see. Let's go over I just want to see how the weekly candle is looking on this one. Just want to have a look. I like to go into detail a little bit, especially in these times, because it just prepares you better for the what's coming, especially when you have large moves in AM session, or when the news candle comes. You already have your levels, and you already have a few scenarios you go over, so then you don't really have to go over, start your analysis, and you already have levels. Okay, if this happens, then this could be a target, and this could be a weekly range or something else like that, right? Okay, I'm just going to because we have news coming, I'm not too interested in really make large trades now. If there's a good opportunity, I will, obviously, but that's why I'm focusing a little bit more on analysis right now. Hold on. Cool. No, that's not what I want to do. That is not what I wanted to do. TGIF data. That's what I want. So what I always do, I always look. So TGIF means, like, at the end of the week, we go into the 20, 30, 40% range. But sometimes, like 2 weeks ago, it did it already on Thursday, and then just had a consolidation Friday. But that's how you know what type of Friday you can get. Now, do I think we're going to take out this high? I'm inclined to think so, right? But that's just me speculating. So that's not really based on any data that I can really confirm it with. But look at this, how this looks. But then again, you also have to keep this in mind, right? You've got 2 equal lows here as well, almost 1,000 points lower. Yeah. So if the range, let's say, if we take out this high, then we need to go back in. This will be the range. But it could also become a down candle at the end of the 2 days. So that means we can go all the way into this wick here. So that's a possibility too, right? So what can happen is that on the daily, let's go to a daily, for example. Do we have any days that can still be taken out? Well, here we have a little bit of a higher day, right? Let's see, daily, yeah. So let's say this high, and then it goes down from here. And this will be the range. This is the max. Or are we going to into new territory? We have to wait. We have to just wait. But just be vigilant on this high. See how it reacts. Look, if we spike up like a lot, if we're going to spike up, we're going to go into on some high territories, and that will be pretty awesome as well. And then you have to use standard deviations and stuff like that to calculate the moves. Moves are calculatable. It's not like even though it's going to unknown territory, you cannot really. You can still calculate like certain moves because it all works in ranges, right? So we'll get to that when time is there. But for now, we just have to watch how London is developing. But for me, in all honesty, does it look bearish? No. Is it really like being in a range? Yeah. Asia, London so far looks very rangy, which is normal in a day. We get like large news days. So it's just not doing as much as we want to. But that's good, right? Because we want to have large moves and be prepared for them. So what I always do. So this is midnight, and this is the first presented fair value gap in the midnight area. I have another chart because I try to keep these as clean as possible for for YouTube for the stream, I mark this, but I don't only mark because the midnight only stays up for a couple of days. That's is visible, but I want the midnights visible on my monthly contract. So I look at the monthly and the continuous contract. We have to be aware as well. We're going to get a contract change. I believe we have to look already at data next week when the next month contracts are getting more volume. We need to change the monthly contract. So my other chart that I have, it is populated for the whole 3 months. I've got specific levels like first presented fair value gap of the 930 area. They're all there, and I look at them, and obviously, let me not forget to put on my NWOGs. I need my NWOGs. I always look at them. Why? I'll tell you. You see the event horizon here? That's a very strong point of liquidity, as are if we're going to make a move down, you want to have a look at the NWOGs and the event horizons. People overlook the event horizons, but they are the midpoints between two NWOGs, and they're equally considered liquidity points as the NWOG itself. It's just a big magnet. Okay. So now I'm just watching to see how London is behaving, because it tells you a lot. Are we bullish? Are we bearish? You can see the price action is still to the upside. Not interested in it right now to take it. Just observing and seeing if I can see. I think we have 8:15 news already today, right? If I'm correct. Let me see. Do we have 8:15 news? I think the first news is 8:15. We have nothing in London going on. There's no interesting London news. 30-year bond auction. Yeah, so the 10-year, when you have a 30-year bond auction and 10-year bond auction, like yesterday's price action, if you see PPI in combination with that 10-year bond auction, you might as well skip trading for the AM session. I mean, that's according to my journaling and yesterday again, and I actually didn't see it on time, to be honest. So I gave it a few stabs, and I was not doing well, obviously, because and in the AMs, in the PM session, everything was so clear again, and so that's something I'm just going to keep doing. When I see that PPI 10-year bond auction, I'm not going to open my chart up to 1 o'clock. And I believe ICT said it somewhere. I can't remember if it was in a Shotgun Saturday or somewhere else, but he did mention it, and I scribbled it down somewhere, and I went into my journal, and then I don't really back test, to be honest. I forward test more. So when it came into my trading and I saw it, and I'm like, okay, let me have a watch, and then blue and eval, and then I was like, oh shit, that's what wasn't that something that ICT? And I looked at my notes. Sometimes I can't even read my notes when I write something very fast. And I'm like, 10-year bond auction, and then don't trade until 1 p.m. And then I started, I did go back a little bit just to see how price action was. But it's difficult to see price action when you go back and you look at the higher time frame. You can't see how it really was a slow grind or how annoying it was, right? You can see the ranges though a little bit, but it's hard to really, when you go back and you look at the like say for example, if you go 15 minutes back or even 5 minutes, it still looks better than it was on the 1 minute, like what we are doing as day traders, right? So there's always something to consider when you back test. You don't really see how price action actually really was. Yeah. So anyway, that was that. Um, Going over the bond auction in your Forex Factory, and then yeah, let's see if we can frame a good trade, because that's what we want to do, right? Eventually, even though we want to wait for the news, but London gives can give a good give some good opportunities as well. So I'm gonna calculate this 4-hour wick. So yeah, I tried again to get the music on with that VB cable, and I can't get my mic working properly. And I've tried everything. It's so annoying because I really want to get the music back on. And yeah, I was really annoyed that I couldn't get it working. But I think people like it to have music on. Okay, so now let's see, right? I think we're gonna go up to this level here for sure, and 230. It is a paper trade, guys, just a paper trade. Just want to take this into here. Stop loss is going to be just below. Now, am I too early? Yes, of course I'm too early because we're at the end of the macro. But I do think we are going to work our way up. I feel like I'm being shadow banned at the moment. Did I do something? YouTube? Did I do anything for you to shadow ban me? Because there's no more people coming in. That is so weird, to be honest. I wonder. Okay, now have a look. Have a look. Where is my? Now, am I too early for this trade? Maybe. It's just a paper trade. Nine two. Two, 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 two. Just gonna wait because I wanted to go into so we're above this first percent for value gap. I'm just gonna see where I'm going to enter. I do see it go higher, like to this area here before it starts rejecting. Are you kidding me? Am I still on, guys? Could you please let me know? Because I just got a message, OBS disconnected. I think I'm still on, right? I hope so. I think I am. I think I am. Okay. Focus. We want a good trade. Okay, I was looking at the 5 minute because I feel like we're not done yet. Look, you can see this is also hello. I need some more coffee to speak normally. This is a mini market maker buy model, right? So you always be cautious. But what you can see here, yes, we hit an old new midnight level. So yes, I think we're going to go a little bit down here, and we're still not in a macro. So you can always see, okay, there's a mini market maker buy model. It's done. But if you look at the higher time frame, 5 minute, we still have a lot of liquidity here. But this, if you look at this side, it looks exactly like the side that we've been working our way through for the last few weeks on the 4 hours. So what can we expect? If you look on the 4 hour, and I'll show you that it looks exactly like, hold on, now don't be surprised. Look at this area here. It looks exactly the same on the 4 hour, what we see now on the 5 minute. So what can you expect? Same similar price action. It's not going to go up in one move. It's going to work its way up, down, and we've got news coming, right? So its time is really fractal, and it does. If you start looking at the higher time frame, you will see that these things sort of like they use the similar models on the lower time frame as well. So be mindful of this. Obviously, it's a 5 minute, so it will go a little bit faster than the 4 hour. But you can expect the same behavior. Like, we went the first time on last week Thursday, it went up to here, then we went down. So there will be a nice retracement coming before we make the last move up. So I'm just trying to frame a proper trade, and if it doesn't give me in London, let me just have a look at like for example, you see this one here. This was the Thursday move, right? That was Thursday, 28th of August, and we went all the way down. Then we went back up. Then we have this level. Then we went back down. Then we had this level. So that is something you really need to take into account when you see this. And we are now, we have this. So yeah. So just take that into account. And if you see this behavior, it copies the behavior from the 4 hour to the lower time frame. So we're definitely going to take this out either today or tomorrow. I mean, that's pretty obvious to me. Let me just go on. And again, oh, sorry about that, guys. I like to draw and show things sometimes. So we don't need this. Just want to show that. Let's go to the lower time frame and frame a good trade. We might have a good trade, maybe a little bit in the macro or at the 313 move. So we're just going to watch. Hello, Boris. Yeah, at 9 o'clock Madrid, 3 a.m. Yeah, starts the silver bullet pattern. Yes, it's always a silver bullet. But sometimes I'll tell you why I try to come on early at 2 a.m. because of this. Oh, every time you see the move up at 2 a.m. So there is a lot of possibility at 2 a.m. You see, this is the the red dot that you see. That's the settlement price from yesterday at 4:15. You see it rejects here, and I didn't. I got on a little bit late because I was busy. But that's why I tried to come on now at 1:45 and even 2 because I want to catch these 2 a.m. moves. It was still technically in the consolidation area, so I don't know if I would really have called it today. But then again, it sort of indicates the end. I noticed that at 2 a.m. it indicates the end of the consolidation move, and then it sort of like makes a larger move, on the change. Can we consider this change in sales delivery? And then it moves away from it. And we're above midnight now. This is the midnight from today, and this is yesterday's midnight. So I believe we're going to move out of it. I was just waiting for distribution a little bit high this week. But look at this look at this beautiful liquidity here. Asia lows to be taken, Asian highs apparently be taken. Did we take out Asia lows already? Not yet. So I don't know if I would have taken this 2 a.m. move though, to be honest, because we didn't take Asia lows, right? Here you see this is the low. We created equal lows. So that's what I'm saying. If you look at the higher time frame, how we went through if you look at the same, how this top of the 4-hour market maker buy model, how we went through it and how we took our time already over 2 weeks working our way into it. I'm just expecting a larger move to the downside before we make the move to the upside. So that's why. But yeah, we're going to get a nice. I'm sure we're going to get a good. We're going to get some good opportunities. And again, I want to point out if people had problems yesterday with trading. If you have PPI or news, that's the first news of a range of news, and you see the 10-year bond auction, like you see yesterday. You can skip the AM session because I think everybody agrees that AM session was pretty awful yesterday. If you see that, you can actually just skip the whole AM session and come back after 1. I think the news is scheduled at 1 minute after 1 p.m. Eastern. And then price action becomes much more. It just holds it down for some reason, and I believe ICT said it somewhere. But look at the forexfactory.com and then check your former price action. Now again, I did mention it's hard to see when you go back in time, or you have really a good replay download program. But it's hard to see when you just look at the price action because you can't see on a higher time frame how shitty and how difficult the price action was. You can see the ranges though. But keep that in mind. Anyone who struggled yesterday, it is, I think it has to do with that 10-year bond auction. So, and then after 1 p.m., it got really it was very good price action and the levels were quite clear. Yeah. But has anybody taken a trade so far? Or are we waiting for the silver bullet? Anyone did well yesterday in PM session? So I've marked on the 4-hour, I've marked the first wick because we haven't gone into it yet. So I always look at the wicks and I use them as rejection blocks, as potential rejection blocks, I must say. Potential, because we don't know, right? So this is the 75%, quarter 1/3. So if I look here, do we have anything significant at 75%? So then that means we will go for this liquidity here, those equal highs, and we might have a little rejection here in this fair value gap here. So that means we will go over yesterday's 830. I would prefer it to see them take out the Asia lows. Yeah, like Boris said, Asia highs has been taken, and that's exactly also the yesterday's midnight. So what you tend to see when it hits a midnight range, we do see some normally normally we do see some rejection to the downside, right? Because it's a liquidity level, but as it is highly manipulated the last few days, could it just consolidate again because of today? Did I have my? Oh, hold on. I have. I wrote down the weekly profile that I'm looking. I've got two weekly profiles that I was looking at. I was wondering, because we didn't have a Tuesday low, we had a Wednesday high. There was another weekly profile that I was thinking about, but then again, that doesn't make sense to me. That is just, that's this, and we had a Wednesday, oh, wrong one. What am I doing? I need more coffee, guys. You can see that, right? I was a little bit upset about yesterday about the news. Obviously, you all know. I'm happy that I didn't go online, but it really impacted me. It still does a little bit. So extremely, extremely sad. Let me see. There you go. So the other weekly profile, when you have a Wednesday high, hold on. We have a Wednesday high, and then it goes like this. Now I see that happening right. Oh, here you go. That is one, but I already, that's already off the table for me. For one, I don't want it, and for two, I think because the behavior is already, it doesn't look bearish to me at all. Now we could see a rejection anytime from here, and then we could get this move to the downside. But this is one of the bullish profiles that I'm looking at. There are more, obviously, but that would indicate for me that we do get a move to the downside and the Friday move up. But there's also another one that we just go up, 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 and then we have go into the range. But I'm just taking this into account. Why am I showing this one? Just for us to be aware that this could happen, so that we get a downside move first and then a move to the upside. When we just blast off, then that's something most people are now thinking about, but it's a possibility, and then we go into all-time highs, and then we might get a TGIF, back into the range. We also could. This is a possibility. So I just want, even though it's a bullish profile, we could get we could go lower into the range and take out yesterday's low, but that's all the way here. Or we just go to this rejection block. Mind you, also, I want to point out this flat bottom candle on the 4-hour. It's flat, considered flat. That means it's a magnet. And a magnet means price can be drawn to it. So I'm also looking at this area here, and this flat bottom candle. We call it the devil's mark, right? And it's a lack of liquidity, lack of manipulation, we have to say. So that means the algo wants it to be like, it needs to be rugged. It needs to be a little. You'll see that there will be a wick in this area. Most likely not a body, but a 4-hour wick. So that's what I'm looking at. So if we go down, I am looking to in this area here, which will be Asia lows taken, and then we will reject somewhere here to go back further up. So that's a probability that I'm looking at. So it's a lot of analysis. I hope you guys don't mind that, or maybe that's why you want to be here, I guess, because that's more my style, just to go over analysis and frame good, proper trades. I prefer the larger moves, the moves that give a very good risk reward, and um, I wanted to say a little bit longer, but I'm actually then contradicting myself because I hate being in very long trades. I made a short on that, and there's one video that really points out that how I'm really starting to go cuckoo when I'm in a long trade. Start talking to NQ, to myself, and fall asleep basically. But yeah, so no, that's try not to. But then again, we want just a good trade. 15 minutes, maybe max 30 minutes if they give 100 points. We love those, but not 1.5 hours for 40 points. Let me make that clear. Yeah. So we're in a macro, by the way. I'm going to go back to, I hope this is clear. If anybody has any questions about weekly profiles, rejection blocks, devil marks, so that means the fat candles, let me know. I can go into that a little bit. And why I'm interested, why am I looking at this profile and not a bullish one, which I do think it's probability, so that we're not going down, we're going to go up. But I just want to point out this move in case. So just be prepared that it's a possibility because of this here. Yeah. Okay. Let me go to the one. Yeah, if there's any topic that people want more information on or like struggling with, let me know, because that's why I started this channel. You know, really to well, to grow together for that's for one, but also like if there's something that I have knowledge on, and well, maybe you have no knowledge on something that I don't know. I would love to hear. And yeah. It's 3 o'clock, guys. Now this has my interest because we have yesterday's midnight and today's midnight. I'm just going to be very a little bit vigilant, but I do think we're going to go up before going down. Okay. So when Asia's lows are not going to be taken, that means we could just go up, right? And they leave Asia lows maybe for like because we're going to get news for a manipulation wick to the downside, for example. You could see that happen. So if we do go up and they leave Asia lows, they did that last week as well, and then we had that was that Friday? I think that Friday was similar. They didn't take out Asia low, so we went up, and then we had everybody was bullish, right? Because we were we were going into that area, and then we had this big drop going down, and then it took that Asia low. So if they do leave the Asia lows in London, and if we're going to spike up, be very mindful of that area for either a manipulation wick during, it could be pre-market, but also for the opening session. So sometimes it's good that it leaves it, right? Because then we know like, oh, okay, we might have a move to the downside later on. So that just gives you more intel. So we just, keep an eye on this for later. We're not going to go down there now, and we're going to just go up. It's fine. We'll just play along, right? We play along with you and Q because we love you. We know what you've been good. You showed your hands once in a while. Okay. Now, still consolidating a little bit. We are still consolidating. Accumulation, manipulation. So what do you think? Manipulation move. Did we have it, or are we still going to get it? That is something that I really want to for example, when I look at this consolidation, right? Like, has there been, sometimes you see it afterwards, and then then it's so easy to get the distribution because then you have acknowledge, okay, accumulation, manipulation, and the distribution. AMD. Can I get more, you know, when does AMD occur? You want to see manipulation most likely at the, for example, the 3-hour candle, the 4-hour candle. It's the wick, the part of the wick that is actually the manipulation. So especially around times like this, when you have the 3 o'clock candle opened, the 4 o'clock candle is actually even better, but the 3 o'clock, that's also where you look for SMT, you know, at the half of the hour, at the mid of the hour, because it's about manipulation moves which creates the SMT, right? So at this time, I'm looking like, okay, how's the 3-hour candle forming? We just opened up 3 minutes, nothing really happened. That's why you want the distribution move, because that gives you the information of the manipulation, right? So now we are 3 minutes in, and the 3 a.m. candle hasn't given us a lot yet. So we stay up, don't do anything. We just wait. If I don't get any significant move straight away, that just gives me more information that I need to wait longer, because I want that manipulation. I want that beginning of the manipulation at the beginning of the candle. That's why I have my model, my 10-4 model. That is my go-to model that I live off that. My funded is only my 10-4 model, so I wait for the 10 o'clock. That's why you see you will see it on my charts, 10 and the 4 o'clock. I wait for the 10 o'clock to print, and then there's a manipulation move that goes above the 10 o'clock. This is what we want to see. It's going to the downside, right? So is it going to be the manipulation move for the 3 o'clock? Is it going to be a wick to the downside and we get a move to the upside? Or are we just going to dump? See, it's hovering, it's now hanging around the midnight again. So it's sort of like, you know, it's being held in, you really want to see it move away from the midnight area to get some clear direction. I am not too sure that we're going to take out Asia lows, to be honest. It could be. Not sure at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if we go a little bit lower to 23, let's say maybe 10 points lower, and that's maybe it. I really want to see you break away from those 2 midnight areas. It's really sort of like still in another consolidation. So we had this 2. That's why I wanted to, again, I always say, why do I start the London session around this time, right? Because I want to get those 2 a.m. moves. You see, every time I see this move here, and it's not an easy move, but then again, you know, it hit the settlement price, boom, and then it makes its move. And it's not like an easy move in the sense of, oh, you know, you have it's high resistance in a way, but it's there. And you have a clear mini market maker buy model here. You know, and you just play it from here to midnight or to the first presented from midnight, because I use that level as well. So I want to catch those 2 a.m. moves because I've seen it a lot. I just see them a lot, and I'm like, okay, And then it goes back into consolidation, right? So here we go, and then you have your next move, maybe 330, 430, or there's news coming. So there we go. I think we're getting some movement now. 308. I really think we're going to this area here, but we'll see. We just have to wait. I think they're going to leave. I'm inclined to think they're going to leave Asia lows for later, for as a large manipulation wick during the news candle, during news, and then we're just yeah, it's either going to be this. We did take out. I'm looking at the 4-hour now. We did take out a high here. Well, let's wait. Let's wait, because I'm conflicting now, because I see two things. So that means I need to wait to get more, to get sure. Accumulation. Like I said, we did finalize a mini market maker buy model. Who trades who is into MMXN a lot and AMD? Okay, we've got a nice move down now. You see how they've created liquidity here on the top right. So I think we're into this zone now, and either I don't think we're going to go too deep into it. Like I said, I think 10 points lower, maybe max, and then go up. But I could be totally wrong for this session, that we do take out the Asia lows. But like, are we going to get it, like the move down is going to start already? Okay, so the 4-hour, we took out a high, so are we going to go lower into this range now? Waiting, guys, patiently. We're not going to risk any. We're going to get a lot of opportunities today in the AM session for sure. So we're only going to take A plus setup trades, A plus setups that really we know 100%. We've got a good, logic. I'm not doing anything else outside of that. Now I do think that it's the end of the macro through 12. I really want to see move away from this area, from this midnight area. It's just hovering around a little bit too much around this area for now. And it's just, we've got two of them. Yesterday's midnight, today's midnight. And it's just, we manipulate a little bit below it. So the question is this the move? Fair value gap here is exactly at the 38 level in this fair value gap. Is that enough? Could be. We've got liquidity here, equals, basically. But the only thing that I'm looking at on the 4-hour, we took out a high. and the 4 hours started at 2 and it's from 2 to 6. So this still could become a bearish candle. But if we do go up, we will go up into this area here. So that will be, this is the first presented fair value gap of yesterday's session. This is the London yesterday's session. I use the first presented fair value gaps not only from the AM session but also from other sessions. We'll get a new one. Oh, there we go. I want to say we're going to get a new one very soon, and we have it right over here. Now look how it reacts here. Is it going to... So technically, when you have a retracement, right, like from here to here, and the 38 level can be enough for it to go back from. Now, what did I just do? I did not calculate the whole range. I calculated it from here. And even actually, you can do it from here. Why? Is this balanced? Yeah. So that's the range. This was enough. Let's see. Now, I'm inclined to say, and I said it before, I don't think we're going to go much lower. I think, but, and again, I could be wrong. So would I get ready for a long? I'm going to start looking. Yes. We're moving away now from. I'm just going to watch this area here because also this wick here is here, and let me get to the 5 minute. And if I say anything, guys, that's not clear, please let me know because I know I can get very technical. Please let me know if I need to give any more, if I need to go into some more depth in some things that I'm mentioning. So you see this picture on the 5 minute. We have another wick. Okay, so these are equals. Yeah, so I like this area. You know why? It's a quarter level here, and we go into, we take this equal highs. Yeah, I'm getting in. It's a paper trade still, guys. I'm gonna play my funded later. This is just warming up. I'm still a little bit shaken of everything that happened, but I'm definitely gonna play my funded later. My TP, it might take a little bit longer. This is my stop now. So 2R. I actually said I wanted to see it move away from this area, so it might be a little bit too early, but we'll see. So what I'm looking at in this case is that this first presented fair value gap of the midnight space where we went over it, and on the 1 minute we should be above the. We should stay above the London one. So that's what I'm looking at. So I might get out straight away, but let's see. Oh, there's a gap here. Okay, I don't like that. I need to bring my stop up actually to here. I don't like to be in drawdown, but now let's see if it just wicks into this area and goes back up, or does it really go down? See this? Okay. You're gonna wick up. No, it's going to take me out. That's fine. I'm too early. Okay, that's fine. Okay, good. See again. Um, let's go to the 3 minutes. Because of these two levels, you can already actually sort of like predict the consolidation, right? It is sort of like stuck between those two. It uses them, sort of bounces between the two of them all the time. And if you look carefully, we took out on the 4 hour, we took out a wick here, but if you look on this one, we're in a wick, we have a rejection block on this side. So this can give you a lot of information. We took liquidity here, but so we rejected first to the upside because this was used as a rejection block. Then we took out liquidity here. So could that indicate that we're going to have a down candle now into this area? We still have to wait. Hey, I really don't mind if we have this price action and the longer it takes, the better the move will be at some point. And because we have news as well, I'm really looking forward to the AM and the PM session today, and tomorrow as well. So I don't really care. It doesn't really upset me. Let me put it that way. If I can't frame a good trade now, um, because if it consolidates all London time, it's going to be really nice, um, and explosive later on. And especially if they would leave Asia lows, for example. I love that when they do that. But then I would like them to see move up now, for example. So if we could get a move up to the upside, and then okay, then it's a high probability it's going to manipulate to the Asia. And then you can you're still bullish. It gives you a good opportunity to get back in for the AM session for a move up, for example. Or what it can do, I wouldn't like it to see go down now. You know why? Because technically the market maker buy model on the higher time frame could be done. Like for example, if we look here, let's go again on the 4 hour. If I look at it, like, are we done with this market maker buy model? Well, it could be. It went into this wick and then it could be done technically. It could go down and maybe later on in a few weeks it could take it out again. So I don't like this. I would. This is sort of like annoying then to me if we would really start to move down already, because then I would be like, okay, is it done? Hey, this is what I like to see. Now we're moving away from it. Yes, but I'm not gonna go enter because we're just creating trendline liquidity, right? You want to see move away from it and take out the liquidity. But now it's just wicking. But this is what I like to see. I want it to go up. Leave the Asia lows. Here we go. Now, are we going into a long? I think we're going to give it another stab. Yeah, I'm going to give it another stab because I'm very bullish, to be honest. Not the best trade. On inversion, it's just paper trading, guys. It's 322. That is can be continuation macro. And I want it to go to, 944. Needs to be gone. I need more information on my chart. That's a little bit tricky because you do see trendline liquidity being created here, right? $944 matches exactly with yesterday's first presented fair value gap of our London session. So that's over here. So that's this orange line, and that matches with my 75% of that wick if we're going into that wick. I'm just paper trading right now, getting warmed up for the day. I will throw my stop very fast into at least break even because I just don't want to have any losing trades. I already had 1L. Even though it's paper trade, I just think the same way. But we're in the, there we go. I like to see that. Normally I wait for 50% of the move, but on days like this, I just, if it goes back into my break even, then at least it's not a losing trade because I don't want to lose any money. I don't like to lose any more money. Now we're breaking away from that midnight area, right? So that's what I want to see. See, I was too early first time. Sometimes I'm too early 2 times, but I don't really mind because my losses are small. And then at some point you're on track. But if you're 2 times or 3 losses, then you're not on track. Then you need to just stop the red section and just let it be. What are you going to do in Q? There we go. Just go up. Just go into the 944. It also helps. Oh, you're going down? Oh, are you doing it again? You're taking me out again. You need to be a continuation move. Now, I want to see continuation in this time. Hmm. 326. Okay. Okay. All good. I'm still not convinced it's going down. Going to this area here now. Okay, we do have a gap here on the higher term that, it tends to go back into that area, but we've been into this area already with 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. So do we need to go back into this area? I don't know. I don't think so. really worked our way into this area on the 4 hour. Let me go on the 1 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, so who's bullish and who's bearish for this session? Are we going to use this candle here, this rejection? Are we going to go to the downside into this area here? Are we going to go to the flat bottom already? Are we going to take Asia? Seems we're going lower now. I'm marking this inversion here on this side. So when I have a look at this, so this level here. So are we going to go into this fair value gap maybe? I'm just not convinced yet. I'm just not really, I'm just sort of like really this is the 1 hour inversion. We don't want it to go below that if we are going to the upside. So you can go down into that level, that's fine. You see this candle here, right? The bodies are still above 50% of. We did we open? It's also a very good indication to always check. Did we open above the close, or is it equal? So, for example, here, if I look at this one here, the opening price or the closing price was with 918.25. 918.25, and we opened here 918.25. Exactly, they're equal. So the opening price. So that also is an indication, like it's sort of hard to read, but it looks like it's going to go down. But let's see how far down it goes into this inversion. Yeah. We also have a little gap here on the 1 hour here, and did we tap that? Not yet. Okay. 924. You see on the 1 hour. 924.25. 924.25. 9 high 9. No. So we're 1 point away from this little gap here. So that's why it's sort of like hovering around this area, right? I think my analysis is not off, but it's just time. It's just about we're just experiencing time distortion again, and that's the reason why I want to try to get on before 2 a.m. to catch this. If you go back into your journal and if you trade London, I've just noticed this. There is this move up around 2 a.m. and it's always, you have some level you can, but is it easy to enter like a really like in a logical way with based on like a breaker or some? Yeah, I think it's possible to, but I really have to look more into it. But I do want to start catching those 2 a.m. moves because I've seen them now literally. Even last week, I think it was almost I think 3 times in the week I saw this 2 a.m. move, but it's most of the times high resistance, but it's still a proper move. But once you are able to identify it, so this is my aim for the coming period, to really start getting this move. So I'm really going to try, if I'm able to get on 145, do analysis, and start getting that move. So there you have it. That's my aim for the London session. So yeah. So is that like a New Year's can I call it a New Year's resolution? And then I'm gonna also make sure that put data about it, like maybe make it a model, and start to make like finding a proper model to do it, and then also like back it up with data, like how many times does it work, how do I calculate the ranges, because that's what I also do. I'm very much into, you don't see that on this chart, but I do a lot of calculation, ranges, and that's how I take my longer trades, especially in AM session. But most of my trades are very mechanical. I use time, and then, it's all, I take the emotion out of the trades. Yeah, so that's what I'm really already do, but I also still in the process of improving things and getting better at specifics. And this is my this for the London session, my go-to, study this and find a model to catch this move. So if anyone is here already is already knowledgeable on that, or takes that move a lot of the times, I would love to hear. You don't have to share your exact model, but I just am curious if people are already able to catch that move. But I will definitely, you will see me improve it, and you will definitely see me catch them, because once I get interested in something, I just really, like a dog with a bone, I really, reverse engineer the data, and there's logic to it because it happens so many times, right? And even though it's high resistance, it's there. And so yeah, we'll get back to that. So anyway, price action. Are we bearish still? I'm still not bearish for this move. It looks like the second stage of accumulation. And then it's just preparing itself for the. I really think it's preparing itself for a move up. In the London session. Who's with me? Is it bullish or bearish? I should start making polls actually. I'm going to look into that as well. I'm also looking into how to get people on just in voice, just to say hello, or just to go over their analysis. So I'd love to hear other people's analysis, because I'm just hearing mine, and sometimes I can bore myself with my own voice. Well, it's always weird to hear yourself back. I hate doing that. You see, we're going up. See, because I had 2 L's already, I didn't take the trade, but I'm sure it's just going to spike up. And I'm just looking at this area, 944-ish. I think it's just going to blast off at some point. If we would have gone down, we would have already, gone down already. So now you see on the 1 hour that we're also above the body is already above the close, right? You can see that. We've got 20 minutes on the 1 hour. So we're almost halfway on the 4 hours. I'm just thinking, what will the 4 hour do? This is a rejection block on the 1 hour as well. That's why we haven't even gone into it. We need to take this one in consideration as well. Here we're rejecting this area, or are we just going to go to the higher time frame? What has more significance, a 1 hour rejection block or a 4 hour rejection block? Think about that one. If we do go up, you'll see if we just spike up all the way up or into this 4 hour, or are we going to reject in this 1 hour? See this inversion here? I'm just going to mark this one out just for you guys to see. Why am I looking at it? Why am I looking at this one here? This green one here. I consider that inversion. But it's not valid until you have to have movement in a whole candle go through it. It has to go up on it, close above it, and then it's a valid inversion. So for now, it's not an inversion yet, right? But the moment we have a close, this goes above this one here, and it might go a little bit higher, and then it's a trampoline for the upside. So this is a very significant inversion, guys. Please mark this one. If we're going to move on the upside, we do want to close above it, because then you have your movement down, up, and then it becomes a valid one. So we need this candle to close above it on the 1 hour. Yeah. So yeah, I think my analysis was correct, but I was just a little bit too early. But that's fine. I just enjoy the analysis itself. I'm getting ready for this afternoon. So this is what we want to see. But we want to see it go over, close, and then come back into it. And then it's a trampoline. Yeah. Oh, I actually have to mark it a little bit higher. I missed the gap. You see that? There's a gap here. So you always have to add the gap as well. So it becomes a little bit more higher there, the close. Just want to make sure that I have it properly. It needs to include the gap. So we need the close here. Here we go. Okay, that looks good, eh? It looks like it's really what's going up now. I'm not in it. I had two little L's. I was too early. Happens. But then again, it could reject from here because it just doesn't take the level out yet. But I'm still, well, you guys know, I'm bullish on this move. And even though I had two L's, I'm still very bullish. And looking at this inversion, if we have a close here, if this 1 hour candle closes above this, then we have a proper inversion. And then it could be a springboard to the upside later today. Because, you know, what happens is, if we want the close to validate it, we cannot consider just this move already the inversion itself, because it could reject from here. But then what you want to watch is, does the rejection go, how far is it using this, is it then using this area as an inversion? Because that's how you really use the inversions. You really need to have a confirmation. So that means 1 through, 2 through, close above, and then we can call it an inversion. So now I'm getting, well, I'm not in, my analysis, I've told you guys, this is my level 9. It might be even here because of this first presented, but I would take it just to 945-ish. If you want to play it safe, you just take it up to this level. Or you take low-hanging fruit, we calculate this 1 hour wick. So I use a lot of wicks in my analysis. I don't understand that people. I know people say wicks do the damage and bodies tell the story, but I can't do without my wicks because wicks are gaps, right? And um, the market doesn't do anything else than grab liquidity and balances out imbalances. A gap is an imbalance, so its liquidity is drawn to those levels. Okay, now watch this because it's important that we have a close. So it could, if we have just a wick above and it doesn't close, it's not a valid inversion yet. It's not. So we would like to see this body close on the 1 hour above this level. Now, we could go on the lower time frame, see if there's one on the 15 minutes, so then you can get your information a little bit quicker. But I think because I'm watching the 4 hour already, for me the 1 hour is very significant. So I want to stick to the 1 hour in this case, and then the information will be, we have the information at 3:44, very important time. You can get a spike of 3:47. Let me just double check. You can get a spike of volatility now. Are we getting a spike of volatility? I want to see a violent move to the upside. Are we going down? Are you not going to make the interesting? Yeah, so it didn't take out the high of so what I mentioned, that if you look at the 4 hour chart and you saw we had this liquidity on the left, right, and how it took its time to work its way, to grab the liquidity, and I think we're working in that same area for over a week, 1.5 weeks already, and now you can see it on the lower time. It's exactly doing the same thing, very slow, wicking down, going a little bit higher, slow. So it just copies the 4 hour higher time frame market maker buy model. So if you compare how we have been manipulated into, especially last week Thursday, it was, we were going into it and then it already went down into the range, and then Friday we had a little bit extra, we went into the range, and then we had this large wick down, right? Expect the same behavior, because now you can see on the lower time frame you can see exactly the same market maker model, because it's fractal and it's just copying the behavior on a lower time frame. So that's why I'm expecting these moves up and down, and I don't think it's going to be an easy ride up until we news today. And we might go into all-time highs, or we're just going to go down, and yeah, we'll see. But the fact that they're just not going easy on the way up, that's also very indicated. So it's still, I think, still wants to go up, but it's not making it easy for us, right? It's just sort of like stalling. So there's definitely room to the upside for today, but how far, we just have to see. But yeah, I'm still bullish on the London session. It's just very awkward PA, and I want to see a close above this, because if it closes really above this inversion, then yeah, I'm getting more bullish for pre-market and AM session. Then we most likely see a move back, and then halfway, by the way, into the inversion. It could still be a valid inversion to the upside. It's not that it has to bump into, it could still go into. Yeah. We have a rejection block, we have a mitigation block here then, so we want this to be touched. So what happens? We always look at these. If we get a fair value gap around this area, that's a significant one that will be formed. Yeah, so this most likely will be a fair value gap that will be used later on today. So I see that happen on the 1 hour most likely. This one is too low, I think. So I do another inversion fair value gap created here somewhere in this area. So that will be a high, that will give me a lot of confidence as well um, for entry. So there we go. I like it. Okay, we've got a new macro coming up, the 350, 410. Yeah, I just think it's going to go up into this area, this macro. I'm quite optimistic on that, but then again, it's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but sort of looking very bullish for the time being. I was bullish already, but that can happen as well. You can be bullish and you can be correct on your analysis and still have two L's, right? Because you're too early. Happens. They're two different worlds: analysis and execution. You can have days that you're really, really, really good in your analysis and you just suck at execution because either you're too late or you're just not, you're even though you feel it right, but you still your timing is off or you're just maybe a little bit too impatient because that's it, right? You're just impatient or greedy. It still happens. Also with me. And then you just suck at execution. And then your analysis is spot on. And then sometimes you just, yeah, well, actually, I should never enter when I have no analysis, so that's really bad if I do that. I do have my YOLO days, but then I only do that with not with my fundeds. Uh, yeah, I do that paper trade sometimes. Sometimes you need just to still the you're just you just want to do it. You just want to try some new things, and it's not really based on anything yet. Sometimes we fall into that. But anyway, yeah, does it look very promising that we're going to have this and that this is going to be a validated inversion? I think so. Yeah, I mean, let's see how it rejects in this, or is it going to go to the 4 hours? So we're on the 1 hour here, but all these levels are the levels of the 4 hour wick. And this is the 1 hour. We haven't measured that because I think we can all see. Like this is almost the halfway point. This is quarter, halfway. We don't need to measure that. But I think we're going to go blast through it, to be honest. I just think we're going to go to the 4 hour wick. Why? Because the 4 hour wick has more value than the 1 hour wick. But we'll see. Again, I could be wrong. 350. So also macros, you have to, macros can be divided sometimes in two parts, right? The one part of the macro can be used for a move up. And then when it hits a certain point of liquidity, for example, an area in a wick or is considered a liquidity or a fair value gap. I know that these lines are all fair value gaps because they're first presented from London yesterday and first presented of yesterday. So it's either a gap or obviously when we have these levels here, these are gaps on a lower time frame, right? You understand that? So if I have these here, this can be a point of rejection. Could be possible that it just takes out this wick and then already, goes back down. If you see, this is just above the high of that 1 hour wick. Let's just go to the 5. I'm just going to check something on. I'm just going to go to the 15-minute on the. So the 1 minute. I just want to see something, guys. There we go. 5 minutes. So you see how it makes this first presented. It just it went over it. We had a wick beautifully in it, so that gave me my confirmation that we were going up. But then again, I got stuck into that area. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, let's go back. So why do I scroll between the 1, 3, and 5 is to see, because obviously they are different, those fair value gaps on the 1, 3, and 5, because obviously, well, you could see just now, there was not any 1 on the 3 or 5. These two only formed on the 1. Why is that interesting to me? That's for a reason, because if they haven't formed on the 3 and the 5, even though they're different, they're only on the 1, I give them less significance. So because I'm looking at these higher time frame levels right here and here, so this one is at 966. So I'm sort of like more interested in this level because it matches up on a level on the higher time frame, and I have nothing. This one is the first one. It's above the London one of yesterday. But if I look at the higher time frame, there was no fair value gap created on the first presented London fair value gap yesterday. So this level is sort of like getting insignificant to me a little bit. It can be still of significance, but if I would be in a trade like you saw me make my trade, I already had my TP here, or not. It was 9. I just always go a little bit lower just to be sure, but this was my TP that I was looking at. And now you saw me getting stopped out twice, but my TP, I already put my trade. It was like this, right? I'm still very positive that it's going to go there. So this was my trade. Now I got stopped out, but what if I did not get stopped out? So what? I got in somewhere here. Now again, it's a long trade, and I don't like long trades. But see, my mistake was that I moved my stop, right? I don't know. I don't know if you remember that I was actually, my stop was here, and then when we had this move up, I moved it into break even, and I got stopped out. So if I did not have done that, I would still be in my trade. Because we had we had this, yeah, this was the move that I made here. Oh, I might have, okay. I think I put it around above. It was this distribution move, and then I moved to break even, and this move took me out. So lesson here, I should have put the stop below in this area here, because this one stopped me out here. Yeah. So this was the move that this one stopped me out, I believe, if I'm correct. So yeah, I had to put it below that one, or because we want this stop. Is there inversion here? No, it had to be below this. That's the only way. It's not breaker. Yeah, this was the only way. Yeah, this was my stop. So I put my breaker, I put my stop below this, and we had to move up. Then I moved the stop already, and then I got taken out. But if I would have put it here, obviously my stop would have been, let me see, that's still a good trade. I entered somewhere, I believe my entrance was somewhere here. Okay, 11.25. So let's say you do a micro, it's 10 points, like 11 points on a micro. That's very good. And then this is the trade. It's a 2 point, almost 3 hour trade then. But you have to sit through it, and that's sometimes a little bit annoying. Let's see if it gets to my level, because I need to be. I mean, to be for it to be a 2.8 hour trade, it has to reach that level, right? So let's see if I'm correct, and if it blasts through. Okay, but I'm more confident now that we have this inversion now, because we're almost done with the hour. And we still have Asia low. Keep those in mind for later. But is it likely that we're going to go in below this inversion now? We've got a very solid inversion on the hour, so we can manipulate through it with a wick. That's easy, but a body, that'll be really weird. That it forms, that it makes a proper inversion and then goes through it. But then again, let's see. We still have 2 more minutes. 1 more minute to go. What happened? I think that's my internet. Am I still on? You see that? Everything's again? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm still on, I think, right? Let me check OBS. It's so annoying. I think I'm still on. Yeah, it should be fine. I'm still on. Hey, did it move my okay. You're okay. I'm just looking at this level here. But, okay, I did. That's what I did. Okay, wait, at 4 o'clock. Interesting. We have a close above this one here. Obviously, it's a good thing if the 4 o'clock goes down. Why? Because we want a manipulation wick on the 4 o'clock candle, right? So if it goes down now and then goes back up, then it's creating the wick right now. So I like to see that. If I'm bullish, I like to see this move to the downside. Because we're still in the macro. Now it could just all go all the way down and use the whole hour to go back up at some point. But and yes, we are in the mid of this range, but I just think it's forming the 4 hour, the 1 hour 4 o'clock wick. There we go. That's what I want to see. I think it's really gonna go blast through this, take this liquidity and go into this range here. We could see it higher, but I would be fine. If I would be in that trade, I would just take my profit and just be fine with move until there, because this is I can base it on logic, on calculations, and then up to here it's just going to be more speculation. And because we're getting closer to the AM session and PM session, I would just take my profit and just leave it for now for the session and just wait for after 8:30. I'll definitely be back at the PM session. I might even start sooner because I love doing the analysis. Let's see what happens. It's on a mission. It's on a mission. It's on a mission. Now, why was I so confident in this area already with even though I was off, I had 2 L's? Why was I so confident that it wasn't going down further? There we go. I want to see it move fast, and I hope it finishes in this macro because it could take its time, right? I mean, um, I think once it gets into this area, we're going to go back into consolidation for a long time again, because it's one of these levels. We're already above the 1 hour. Like I said, this is not of no value for me because I was looking at the higher time frame wick, because it has a higher value for the algo to go into that area instead of the 1 hour. So that's why it's so important to use to go over different time frames. And if you notice, like, okay, we have a 1 hour wick, oh, but there's just above it, there's actually the start of the 4 hour wick. Then you already, you have to think, what will the algo do? We'll go to obviously it will reject at some point here, like you see happening here, but that's just, I believe, just a minor retracement to go back further up. But again, I'm always vigilant about when there is like, we have when the macro has been going up, 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 and then it's like 3 past the hour. It could be the end of the move of the macro, and then it could just go back into a range, consolidate, and just wait for the next macro. So that's why this is a long. I made fun of myself. It's on my channel because I was it was NFP week Thursday, and I got stuck in that trade for 1.5 hours, and I started talking to NQ and just doing crazy stuff. So I thought, let me make a short of it, just to take a few highlights of it. And I also wanted to edit, because as a content creator, you need to edit videos and, you make. So I thought, okay, let me get into that, and I can use that because it was sort of funny. I thought, let me just make fun of myself. So I did. So I think it's called When a Day Trader Starts Doing Weird Stuff. You can watch it on my channel. It's just a joke. I mean, it's just a joke. I'm just making fun of myself. But that's how I get when I get into long trades. So anyway, this is one of them. But I'm not in it now. So I hope you guys aren't either. Or you just take your profit and run. You see 4 o'clock, important, not 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock is a level which is causing a rejection. Even though it's minor, it might just be a short one. But it also could be a longer one. And then it just, takes its time until the next macro to make the last bit of the move. Because that's what happens on days like this, right? It's not really interested in really taking out liquidity very fast. It's just sort of like grinds, does certain things, prepare itself for the next move. But let's see, we still have 4 more minutes. I hope it gets into one of these in this level or during this macro. That would be awesome. And then I'm going to touch some grass. I've got a beautiful beach here and the forest behind it. Gonna do a nice walk. Just enjoy the beach, the sun. This way the summer's starting here. Still not too hot. Normally it's too hot to be at the beach in summertime here, but now it's still nice. We've got whales. They're migrating from north to south, so I always catch a few tills and just enjoy it, and then come back for the session later. I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, I haven't really traded AM. I haven't gone online AM session. But maybe I should just start a little bit early. I don't know. There's so many good YouTubers already. I think at the AM session, I love to watch them as well. So that's why I thought, you know what? And I like to trade the PM session and lunch a lot. Because people disregard the lunch session. And hi, Lindy. And I think it's such a valuable session. There's so many opportunities there. So that's why I decided to do the PM lunch session. But then again, I could always, I'm just thinking I can always go online when I'm behind the charts, right? And that's a lot of the time because I love doing what I do. But anyway, that's not interested now. So it's 4:08, so the macro is almost done. Is it going to make the move to the how many points is that still to go? Let's see, 36. Oh, it hope it does that, right? Let's say it just goes to this level here, 45. It always does that, like just a few points. Sometimes it just stops and then it makes you wait again, but we'll see. Let's see how far it goes. I'm really curious because I really journal these things, right? How far moves go. Can you know, apparently you can calculate consolidation range. You can calculate things. You can see how far it goes. Because it's always like, it works it works with levels. It does certain things and then everything is calculatable. But it's difficult to calculate it exactly. Mm. That's why standard deviations, sort of like always, you have 2.5, 4. You can really see that when it makes a move, it's 2.5, and then it goes down 4 again. It's always in conjunction with another move. Mm. I like this. I like this session. This session analysis was correct. I was off, obviously. That's fine. I mean, analysis was correct that we were going to the upside. My TP might not be correct for the London session. We'll see. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait a little bit. But at least the upside was correct. Then I'm happy that we left the Asia lows, so we can monitor that for the AM session. What it's doing, is it going to use it for the AM session? We've got a valid inversion now because we have a close above it. So we have a move to the downside and we have a move to the upside on a close. So I hope people are putting that on their charts as well. So if we do the retracement, we do not want to see it go all the way through this one because it invalidates the long then. So this is a very important level now to use for further analysis for the AM pre-market AM session. Now a wick doesn't invalidate the inversion, right? It's a body that goes through. If you just have a manipulation wick that goes through it and you have the body right, that doesn't go below the midpoint, it still validates it for a long. It still invalidates it for the long. So I hope people took away some good things from this session, learned something, and just have fun. I mean, it should also be fun, right? I would like to have more interaction with you guys. I do miss that a little bit, but I just started out, so I just need to get more. I'm not really advert. I just don't like X anymore, so I'm not really using X. I did open up an account, but it's such a cesspool of negativity. So I'm not even going. I didn't even go on there. And technically, I also have not really informed some groups that I'm in that I'm having my own YouTube channel because I just thought, let me see. I'm just hoping I pop up in their feed at some point, so that I'll go. But then I need to grow a little bit more, and it takes time. So I prefer to take it slow. I like it because I sometimes look at those chats of those other very popular YouTubers and oh my god, you have to deal with that simple mind stuff. Say that. That's what I think actually. So that's what you get when you start to get really popular. So that's not. I would rather keep it a little bit smaller and have a higher quality group of people that really being focused on content. That's my goal. But then again, it comes with the territory, I guess. You cannot have it all. But that's something I need to grow into. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I don't have any plans to stop doing this. I really enjoy it. So, and I really want to thank everyone who's joining me and supporting me. in this first stage of my adventure. So anyway, we're not done yet. We're just gonna watch. I really want to watch the full move, so just gonna stick with you guys until we're done. Well, that's sort of like really. That's actually weird what I'm saying. I'm sort of like married to my bias now, right? And we're gonna stick to it until it reaches. It might not even go there, but I'll know when it's invalidated. We'll know. You guys have to tell. It should go next. Yeah. So there we go. I like that. Yeah. Move is going. Just go, go, go. Come on. Go, go, go. It's my belly. I don't know. I don't think the mic picks that up, right? It sounded like I'm very hungry. I might have to get some food. Yeah. So guys, if you want to, I hate asking for it, but I need to start asking for likes and stuff like that. So if you enjoy it and if you take something away from it's like the stream, it does help me grow a little bit because I'm still a very small channel. I just started a few weeks ago. I hate asking for it because I'm like, you know what? I would always, I think always like if people would like it, they would just like do it anyway. But yeah, let's see. Oh, I just don't hope it's gonna take us. I just hope it's gonna go there in a bit. In the 4:20, 4:13. Let's see. Let's see if it just sparks through this. I think it's gonna go very fast at some point. There we go. That's what I want to see. That is what I want to see. Thank you for that like, whoever you are. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, oh, yeah, I appreciate every one of you, and and I know the ones that have been, the ones that have started out with, you're very special to me because I know all your names because I know exactly my first few subscribers. And I'm not really focused on it because I'm really like not, I don't want to be focused on it. I just really want to work on, improving the stream and getting input. Like, okay, like someone told me in the beginning, hey, you need to clean up your charts when you go online, things like that. And I really want, I hope, obviously I want to grow, but I do not want to have thousands of people. I really want a small group of people and that we're really focused on content and, yeah, uh, just have fun and grow together. So that's really my focus. And so let's see. I just wanted to go to that level and then I'm going to call it for the day. And then I'll come back later and continue where we left off. Oh, yes. Hungry, I know. Hungry people. Yeah, a little. It might do the run in the 20. Okay, now you see, even though this London of yesterday, right? You see how it does reject from there, and it might just be a small rejection, but it does. So for me, those first presented fair value gaps helps me just to navigate it as a roadmap. Like I can expect it. Sometimes if you just want to be in a shorter trade, for example, you just take your profit to here. But yeah, I've got this level here. But then again, it could take its sweet old time. You remember because we also have a gap here. It could take its time to there. Um, and it's really now that's interesting to see. So it's making its way into that 4 hour gap, right? Because the 4 hour starts here, so it looked away, but it did not hit the 75%, not yet. But it rejected already. Because sometimes when you're like looking at those levels, you do need to, like I did mention like, okay, the 1 hour is not important because we have got a 4 hour very close by. So I took over this one, right? You can see that. So it took out, like now you could actually see that, okay, it's using this liquidity, that it's enough for now. So it might move the way down. And then because you have this level here, actually I should have, thought about that more. So I learned from this as well. A liquidity point and a representative of yesterday's London. Obviously it's going to reject there. But then again, it's a minor, it's just a retracement. But you can expect it, and it helps you just to expect those levels. So, so for example, if you miss the trade, and you can also frame the trade maybe when it hits this level, it goes down, and then you frame the trade back to the upside for the move up to here or even higher. Because we've got this inversion right now, right? So we're like, okay, is it going to go back into this inversion, or is it not going to use the inversion as a springboard? That's interesting if it's going to do it now already. Let's see. Let's see, let's see, let's see. So you see now how interesting. Yes, we go down because we have larger liquidity, but it's not done with the move yet because it's higher time frame PD arrays, right? Now, yes, we can go reject from here, take its time, but I really think that it's on a mission to one of these PD arrays. Yeah, let's see. I really want to see it hit this level because then I sort of like I can. It feels like not rewarding, but do I want to be right? Yeah, I want to be right, I guess, but I want to see it if my analysis was correct, or did I maybe, in a day like this, maybe this is enough. So then I have to adjust next time. I did. This is still a 2-hour trade. If I were taking this trade, right? So that would be fine if you just take the low-hanging fruit. It makes sense, and then it goes up to this level later today, because now it seems to be, yeah, this could be enough, and then it keeps this for later for the AM session. Okay, interesting. It doesn't look like it's going to go up further from here. It looks like it wants to have more to the downside. Maybe it goes more into the inversion, because we have a 1 hour. Did we open? We're still above it. It's a slow grind. We knew it was a slow grind. You don't want to be, you don't want to be in this trade all the way up here on days like this. Not after news, right? This is definitely going to be used for later, because we're at 4:20. In 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, in 4 hours there will be news. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at here. So lesson that I learned from today is that even though I have these higher time frame levels, if I have this level, and I said I didn't give it much value because of I didn't see it on the 3 and the 5 minutes. I'm taking that back now. I'm definitely going to take that back, especially when there's news coming. I do value it. Why? Because it's just above this liquidity, and we have a gap here as well. It's above liquidity. We took liquidity. We're in a fair value gap because this is a fair value gap on the 1 minute. So that means, because you have to always remember the first percent of fair value gaps are most of the times of higher significance. So even though I didn't see it on the 3 or the 5, that's a mistake that I made today. It's above liquidity, but not into the, and we're in that 4-hour wick. But this is going to be left for later. This still has a lot of room. It needs more things to do, right? So I'm going to leave it up here. I learned a lot as well from this session. I hope everyone that joined me also took away something from it. I guess that's the point from these sessions, right? So I wish everyone a nice day or evening wherever you are, and I'll see you back later today, I hope. And for now, just be careful, and I see you soon. Thank you so much for joining me and the support. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. I'm just going to put it down in the chat. Thanks for joining and supporting. Thanks for joining and supporting. Here we go. Bye bye, everyone. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.